Hello friends, this is the second part to my video, and this video will feature specifically nut and seed butters. And as you can see, this pecan butter was very popular. I loved it. It is by Guidry Organic Farms, and nut butters are very high in density and fat, and this is from Scott, Louisiana. So literally it has pecans and salt in it. Now I find that nut butters taste better when they are roasted as opposed to raw. And I also prefer them salted. I think salt is really beneficial, and it just kind of breaks up the heaviness of the oils and the fat. Now, this particular item is also very popular with me, and I just eat it right out of the container because I'm the only one at home that eats nut butters. But this walnut butter from Living Tree Community Foods was absolutely excellent. And it is from Berkeley, California. And it has walnuts and Himalayan pink crystal salt. Now, here is the walnut butter when it's first delivered, and it has so much oil on top. As you can see, it has about a half an inch of oil. And I actually pour that off, and I'm going to go over this particular butter in a minute. But this is pumpkin seed butter, and I poured off the oil. Unfortunately, I spilled it on this beautiful rug, so I've got an oily mess to clean up. But when I poured off the top, it actually had twice the amount of this oil. So it was very heavily oily. Now, this walnut butter, I loved it. I love the texture. Once I poured the oil off, it had this almost pasty texture. So it was very different from like peanut butter or the other butters. It just had a really interesting taste. Now, another thing I want to mention about the walnut butter, I just tasted of this oil by itself, and this is walnut butter. This is just pure walnuts. And the oil tasted a little bit and smelled like sardine oil. I was very surprised about that. It had a very interesting smell. But the nut butter itself does not taste or smell like sardines. As you can tell here, I had the cap on this and the dogs got to it. They know that I have good food in jars and cans. And they will even go after like a can of soup or beans. If they see a can and they can reach it, they'll just grab it. Now, this product is so delicious. Mindful Bites. And it says it was a nut butter with Brazil nuts and cocoa nibs. It is very rich. It is very dense with oil. And it's chocolatey. Now, my disappointment with this product is that it not only... I can't read that. Hold on. I thought I was getting Brazil nuts and cocoa nibs. However, it had ground almonds, ground cashew nuts, Brazil nuts, cocoa nibs, cocoa powder, blah, blah, blah. Yacon syrup, which is a tuberous vegetable, and it was used in here, I believe, for sweetness. And lucuma powder. Lucuma is a fruit, a South American fruit. And it had sweet almond oil. Nevertheless, this product was extremely good and very chocolatey. It is from the UK. It's from London. And I'm sure I paid a lot of money to have that shipped from Amazon. But I felt like it was a little bit misleading because I thought I was getting a Brazil nut butter with crunchy cocoa nibs, and that wasn't the case. It is like a chocolate product. Okay, we're going to next go to this product. The brand is Beyond the Equator, and this is a 5-seed butter. Chia, flax, pumpkin, sun kernel, which is sunflower, and hemp. And, like I've said before, there's about 100 calories in a tablespoon of nut butters or seed butters. And you do have to consider, the fat content. Fat has, little value in our nutritional guidelines. But you can extend it on a piece of bread. You can limit your sandwich to one piece of bread, like an open face. You can just scoop it out of the jar to save calories of the bread. You can just maybe eat 1 or 2 tablespoons of it per day. Now, this particular product was manufactured for Supreme Specialty Foods from New Orleans, Louisiana. So, and it has dehydrated cane syrup as well. And the sunflower seeds are roasted. I'm sure the other seeds are probably toasted as well. This is very, very good, and it has an amazing texture. I mean, it's a little gritty, like tiny little grits. That's very, very pleasurable when you eat it. So it's not distractive at all. I was pleasantly surprised with this product. Now we come to the very, very oily product. And this is Omega Nutrition Pumpkin Seed Butter. It's also organic. And it has Celtic sea salt. 100 calories per tablespoon. Very little fiber. This is a great product, and I did pour off the oil, like I said before, and it was extremely oily. Now, I'm going to reuse this oil with stir-frying a vegetable dish or something of that nature, but I'm going to use it in something else. I'm not going to throw it away. If I didn't throw it away, or if I didn't reuse it, I would probably pour it on my dog food and let the dogs enjoy it. But this oil has a really, really dense, heavy flavor, similar to hemp oil. It's dark and it's rich, and it's not subtle. So if you don't like that, then use it sparingly. It has a flavor on its own, and it wasn't my favorite, but it is what it is. I think it would be better if it was placed maybe on a sandwich with some jam. Maybe, some raspberry jelly or something. Because the flavor is very strong and it's unmistakable. Now we come to the macadamia nut butter. Now, this is raw. It's not toasted. It's quite oily, as you can see. And I poured off some of the oil before. Now, macadamia oil makes excellent oil when you're stir-frying vegetables, or perhaps using in a soup, or even on top of your corn cob. This is by Wilderness Poets. And it's in Ashland, Oregon. And let me see. There is nothing added. There is no salt added to the macadamia butter. Very, very oily. Even if you do pour off the oil, it's laced with oil. I think macadamia nuts are probably the oiliest of the nuts, because I love eating them. And we get some products from Hawaii with use, you know, macadamia nuts sent straight from Hawaii. And unfortunately, it's, you know, it's a little oily for me, for my system, for my body. I love the taste. Smooth, creamy, buttery-like. It spreads really well. And it almost tastes sweet. Actually, this tastes amazingly sweet. Let me make sure there's no sugar. Yeah, no sugar. Interesting. This really tastes extremely sweet, which is really, really good for the taste buds. But if you are considering, you know, calories, 2 tablespoons or 200 calories and 170 are fat. Let's see, this 5-seed butter here, 220 calories. So 20 grams of fat. It doesn't tell me how many calories, but it's up there. It's probably like 180 calories are fat. The pumpkin seed is 100 calories and 80 calories of fat. The walnut butter is 209 calories and 174 of that are fat. Not too good, huh? The walnut butter, it says, the pecan butter, it says a tablespoon is 54 calories, which is way, way less, interestingly. But 46 of those calories is fat. So it's 7 grams of fat. Anyway, yeah, so the one good thing about all these products is that there's no cholesterol. You know, that's certainly better than eating, you know, an animal-laced product or, you know, an egg or bacon or cheese. And some of these do have fiber, and some of them have potassium and other minerals and vitamins. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It was a lot of work actually putting this all together, and when I spilled the pumpkin seed butter oil, it was just a complete mess. And I have dogs all around me waiting to devour my selection here. So I had to do this rapidly, and I'm going to have to put all of this up quickly. So this was a 2-part video, and I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you for watching.